Hi everyone, I'm Chhaya Nene. Welcome to the second day of the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles, or IFFLA. Today we had one-on-one interviews where we sat down and talked with the writers, directors, and producers of all the films. You're going to hear inside tips, tricks, funny stories, things that'll stick with you, and why these films are super important to have. I'm very excited to share with you. Stay tuned. You mentioned that the film was shot at night. How is that from a producer standpoint? Did you even have any challenges or successes? Was it a thing that you guys had to worry about in terms of time, and how did you take care of that?
It was the Calcutta winter. I think in some ways, particularly in India, where moving parts are aplenty. You have a lot of people, a lot of traffic, a lot of sound. I think for Celine, who was one of our other producers, it gave her a lot of peace of mind to know you could actually control the elements a lot more at that time. It was a cold winter, so you had to keep Sunny warm, keep the puppies warm, keep everyone safe and warm. So that element actually works very well outside of a soundstage environment in India. If you're on location, and this was entirely on location in Calcutta, which is one of the busiest cities in India, it was quite helpful.
Okay, we talked about how you have 2 puppies from the film. How did that happen?
Well, when I built the firm that's backed the film and been involved in it, everything was done very professionally. It wasn't just a wing and a prayer. It's magical to Safdar, which I like, but there is a process behind the magic. And so even the puppies, they were brought in, in a very structured way, and they were looked after and paid for. And when I went on set, we found out that there was no future planned out for them. And I had dogs, and I said, look, we can't just throw them to the wayside. So I inherited them, and both of them have gone on to have children, whom many people have adopted. At one point, I had 15 Chippa children. And so, yeah, it's been magical for me because my film career began in Calcutta in 1993 on a film called City of Joy. And when I built this, which was my first effort in India so many years later, it was also in Calcutta. So I named the 2 dogs who played the role Joy and Chippa.
Weird. Share one thing fun about yourself that you wouldn't normally share.
Well, I'm in the film business. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm vegetarian, but I play poker like there's no tomorrow. So I would say that, and it's very akin to making movies. It's a very random but a very structured way of approaching things. And yeah, I guess that would be an interesting facet of my life.
Okay, and we talked about magic yesterday. What were some of the magical moments in creating this film?
I mean, a few. One was definitely how the film came about. It was super organic, and we just wrote it. We got Sunny on board, and producers came on board, and we ran with it. We shot in Calcutta at night, and a large part of I think that's how magic is represented in the film as well, in the sense that it's not necessarily a film that is extremely fantastical or something like that, but you don't really imagine to see how a night functions on city streets through the eyes of a 10-year-old boy. That right there is a perspective that you never think about, and how whatever he looks at that point is magic. So it's very much the good old Ruskin Bond adage of magic is wherever you find it, and I think it's very much from his perspective and from his eyes, and for us, from a larger perspective, just making the film has been so magical and so amazing.
Okay, so what does it take to finance a film like Chippa?
So I think primarily, however cliched it might sound, I think it's the script that matters the most, and that's what we went through first. And then again, the commercial viability of the film, and considering what the budget is, and obviously the exit point of the film. So when the project came to us, I think everything only in the first go itself looked quite lucrative to be financing this project. Yeah.
What is your advice for people who wanted to get into the producing track or the financing track? How would you start, and what's one thing they should remember?
What I did before I could greenlight Chippa from Ultra's point of view was that I learned about the entire exit strategies of such films and how viable they are, and whether they are viable or no. So I think that is something that matters the most, especially for independent films and like low budget films that do not have the biggest of stars. Yeah.